Today, in virtual reality, we are exploring the Nutty Putty Cave. This is the site of a famous tragedy where a man lost his life deep inside of this cave. Because of that accident, the entire cave was permanently sealed off from the world. But this VR experience inside a cave is a full-scale reproduction. It's been reviewed by actual cave divers who have been inside of Nutty Putty, and they say that this is an incredibly accurate recreation. What makes this journey so unique is it's narrated by a man named Brandon Kowalis. Brandon was actually on the rescue effort to try and save John Jones and has been in Nutty Putty Cave quite a few times. And he's going to guide us through this entire experience through all of these tapes. So here's the first one. So let's jump in and explore the famous Nutty Putty Cave.
As you already know, Nutty Putty Cave is located west of Utah Lake in Utah County, United States. Despite its big reputation, the cave isn't actually that large. The total mapped length is about 1,355 to 1,400 feet, with a depth of roughly 145 feet. From this point, the cave splits into two routes. We can head left to enter the maze, or go right toward the famous Big Slide. For the full experience, I recommend starting on the left. Let's go there now.
All right, so we're going off the left. I think maybe both these combined, but...
Look at your watch.
Oh.
The percentage shows how much of the cave you've already explored. Remember, you can rewind or pause the audio guide at any time using the tablet or the menu, which opens by pressing and holding the right stick. Hold it now, and try adjusting the audio by touching the on-screen icons.
As you can see on our watch, like you said, we are already 6% through. We're just exploring these little areas. Looks like there's dead ends right up into there, so we're on our right track. What's really cool I learned about this recreation is they actually said that they worked with people to get like the glisten of the water on this place, right? I guess this Nutty Putty is like a very wet cave, so... And really you can see how much it is. I mean, again, it's incredible the detail that they've put into this game. Also, it gets just super dark here, so I can actually reach up and adjust my light so I can see farther, see closer. We'll leave it right about, leave it right about there so we can see what we're doing. Maybe a little bit, wrong way. Little bit out so we can see kind of right in front of us. Here I can actually probably stand up in the game. Oh, and gonna hit my head. You can actually kind of, nope, can't stand up there. We're headed the right way because we got our next, oh boy, the maze. We got our next tape here.
Here we are. This section of the passage is called the maze, and you'll soon see why. Sculpted by hot water in some unusual forms, it's given many adventurers their first taste of getting lost here. You see, Nutty Putty is a hydrothermal cave. Instead of being carved by rainwater seeping down, it formed through hydrothermal activity. Its origin is also hypogenic, meaning superheated, mineral-rich water rose from below and dissolved the rock from the inside out. Quite unusual compared to most limestone caves. Take a look and let's proceed further to the big room.
Went a little left there, but it looks like this might conjoin with the other part. Guessing there's a little way back right through here. Yep. And we are still headed the right way. The big room.
Welcome to the big room. Compared to most cave sections, it feels open, tall, and almost comfortable. Many cavers pause here to catch their breath before moving on, so stay a while and listen. The cave was discovered in 1960 by a teenage caver named Dale Green, who went on to explore and document many caves in Utah. It's said Dale Green originally thought of calling it Silly Putty, but later decided Nutty Putty sounded better. Can't argue here. The cave takes its name from its soft clay-like texture made of silicon dioxide, the same mineral found in sand. As it formed upward through superheated water depositing calcite, other minerals were also left behind, creating a complex structure. That's why many passages are wet and filled with sticky clay, while in other places, the walls are made up of cherty limestone, sometimes coated with a thin layer of powdery calcite. Mind you, we're basically crawling through an entire semester's worth of physics and chemistry.
Now we're headed on to whatever this helmet is here.
The Helmet Eater.
Oh boy.
Why the name? Nutty Putty Cave became a favorite training ground for Boy Scouts, adventure groups, and college students, many of whom had their helmets bitten by its tight passages. The narrow, twisting tunnels offered just enough challenge that countless adventurers, including teens and scouts, squeezed in only to get stuck for hours, sometimes overnight, before being rescued. Thanks to its nearby location and the novelty of caving, it also earned a quirky reputation as a local date cave, where students would bring partners for a rugged outing. It's definitely harder to escape your date here. Well, all in all, these stories contributed to the cave's reputation as both an adventurous and somewhat hazardous place.
Yeah, I mean, you're into bringing your date out here. But again, it actually hasn't been that difficult of a cave so far, and we're already at 28%. So to what they were saying about, this being a smaller cave, that kind of makes sense because we've already blown through it. But granted, I'm in virtual reality and not actually having to traverse down, the hole in the ground that I'm looking at. I'm sorry, the crack in the ground.
We're approaching the end of this section of the cave.
The crack in the ground.
Got yourself warmed up? Good. Perhaps it's due to its hydrothermal past. Temperatures inside Nutty Putty remain around 55 degrees Fahrenheit or 12.7 degrees Celsius year-round. That may not seem very cold, but remember that movement through the cave is slow and the body has little chance to warm up through circulation. For caving, it's therefore recommended not only to have a helmet, flashlight, and sturdy boots, but also warm, preferably waterproof clothing. Once you feel you've seen everything here, let's head back to the entrance and explore the second part of the cave.
Wow, so there you go. That was back down there in that little water. That is the end of this side of the cave. So let's head back up. What? And the other side, and I'm sure that we're going to hear from Brandon, the narrator here, but John Jones is the person who lost his life in this cave. And, it was, I think, 25, 26 hours that he was stuck. And they weren't even able to recover his body, so they had to essentially close off this cave with him still in there. And so it's a pretty, big reminder of, So it's a pretty big reminder of just being safe and not, going beyond your skill level. And that's why I'll be staying in virtual reality. Going back through this big room here. We actually went through this way, so I'm going to go through this little area right here. We're making my way downtown. Phase is past, and I'm headed to the entrance. Justin was here. Nice. Oh, okay, this actually kind of is confusing. I think I went through that area, so I'm going to go through here. Guessing this all kind of comes back to the same place. That's just kind of a hole there. Guessing this is back to the entrance, right? I think that's where I came. And yep, I'm back down at the entrance. So what we want to do, I'm guessing this just kind of comes off to the left. Oh, wow. Oh no, okay, I'm going down right. I'm doing the right thing. So this is the big slide because we got our tape right here.
Feel like sliding? You're not alone. At the height of its popularity, the cave drew more than 5,000 visitors a year. So much traffic wore the rock smooth, and experts warned that a fatal accident was only a matter of time in one of its main features,
Ready?
a long 45-degree chamber known as the Big Slide, where we are right now.
Yeah.
Those safety concerns, along with the growing damage caused by constant use, led to the cave's temporary closure in 2006. They're also the reason for the ladder you'll find at the end of this section. Be careful on your way down. You don't want to meet your end here, especially in a place meant for a very different kind of rebirth we'll soon discover.
Heading down this ladder here. What? Yeah, you probably don't want to slide really fast off that. Not a nice landing. Gotta breathe out to get through there. So, interesting enough, this kind of splits out into two different areas. Oh, no, just kidding. This is kind of just a dead end over here. Gotta go this way. Oh yeah, starting to get a little tighter here. Feel your claustrophobia creeping in. There's our next tape.
The corridor to the left leads to Ed's Push and the story of what happened there.
Oh no.
The corridor to the right takes you to the threshold of one of the cave's most famous sections.
All right, so this is where the guy went, John Jones went. So we're gonna save that for last. We're gonna quick go up through what I think is something called the Birth Canal here. And you can tell why. Yep, there it is. This thing is so tight. Like, me doing this in virtual reality, see, I can't even get past this point. There you go, got past. You can hear my beat. You can hear my heartbeat. There we go. Now, what is this? Seems like a lot of parts of this cave just kind of come to random stops. Oh, although I think I found something here. So I've kind of split off to the left. So we'll kind of see where this goes. Wow. That dead ends, and then I'm guessing this is kind of just a... Wow. Wow, this is crazy how deep I'm getting here. Oh, snap. I found a flashlight. I don't know exactly what it's for, but hey, a little collectible. We got ourselves deep in here, so we're going to turn around and go back up. We are already at 60% completed. Dang, this is tight. Here we go. Back up to the start here. So I assume we came in that way. So I think we need to head back up this way. Oh, no. So this is actually the way we need to go. Head up this way. Yep, there's our next tape.
Even before Jones's death and the permanent closure of the cave, there were many cases of people getting lost here, with Boy Scouts being perhaps the most frequently rescued group over the years. Some veterans recall that the early explorations were much more wild, muddy, improvised, and with little preparation. In later years, rules, managed access, and safety protocols were introduced to prevent accidents and protect the cave from littering. Tired and panicked visitors had sometimes abandoned helmets, clothing, dead batteries, and other items, things that not only spoiled the sense of exploration, but in the dark, wet passages could cause dangerous accidents. The guiding rule in Nutty Putty was simple. Never squeeze into a place you might not be able to get back out of. Here, you can squeeze through anywhere. If you feel stuck, try moving your head in line with your hands to push forward or back out.
Dang, man, I could not believe a Boy Scout. I've been going through this area. This is just so tight right here. I would even say that this part is even tighter than the birth canal that came before. But we are getting through it right here. Even though I'm in VR, got to put my hands out and in Vein Valley, and it's starting to hurt.
We're now traveling through Vein Alley, another biologically named section of the cave. Names like this, as well as the Aorta Crawl and the Birth Canal, are not merely metaphors for the vein-like network of winding passages. They also reflect the cave's unique ecosystem, which hosts an endemic fauna. Various insects and bats have specifically adapted to survive in these dark, narrow chambers, making Nutty Putty not only a remarkable geologic formation, but also a site of considerable biological interest. The alley has several branches. If you want to achieve a 100% exploration rating of the cave, try to visit them all. The Vein Alley marks the end of the right route through the cave. So when you feel you've had enough, you can make your way back to the entrance.
All right, we'll see how close we can get to 100%. There seems to already be so many just little tiny offshoots coming from the main vein of this cave that it might make it hard, but we're doing pretty good at 76% already. It looks like we have 3 more ways to go, and then we're going to go back and explore the last part of the cave. Go up here. You can never tell exactly how far one vein is going to go, because then, look at this, it just opens up here. What? The large part of the vein. It's crazy the way that these caves are created. Look, it just keeps on going back. See, like, it looks like it's the end here. Oh, look at this. Keep on finding little treasures. What? We'll leave that there for the next caver. That looks like the end of this part of the vein. Well, I actually can see if I can stand up. I can. Walking around. So now we have, so we came this way, went down that way, checked out that way, and so now this one's a dead end, and then this goes, I think, to the same place this does right here. Squeeze on through here. Yep, that connects. So this is actually the last way right here. Wow, this is tight. Man, that keeps on going though. We can see back. Oh no, that's the end. All right, so this is a situation. If I was in real life, this would suck. You get to this. Now, what are you supposed to do? You just grab and you go backwards and shove yourself backwards and shimmy? That seems crazy. But luckily we're in VR, so we can just pivot on our axis here and head on back. We are at 85%. Seen a good amount of this cave. Go up through here, because why not? All right. I think that's the end of this vein. We get the fun opportunity to go right back through this. The Aorta Crawl. Like a heart. And then we got to go through the Birth Canal. All very kind of scary terms, but maybe that makes it more fun. Again, we went down that way, so just keep on going this way. There you have it. Now we have to go this way, and then this should be the Birth Canal right here. That's right. Dude, I'm gonna know this cave like the back of my hand, man. If it ever gets opened back up, I'm probably still not going. All right. Finally, our last bit here into this area. It's called Ed's Push.
We're approaching the site of John Jones' tragic accident. How did it happen? On November 24th, 2009, John Edward Jones became trapped in Nutty Putty Cave after entering a tight, uncharted passage that he mistakenly believed was part of the well-known Birth Canal route. Instead, he had crawled into an unmapped fissure that was far narrower than expected. The passage sloped downward and constricted as it went, forcing him headfirst into a nearly vertical section where his body became wedged. Entering headfirst made it nearly impossible for him to reverse or maneuver once he was stuck. Despite more than 24 hours of effort, rescuers were unable to free him, as the combination of the cave's fragile geology, the limits of physics, and human endurance made extraction impossible. In the aftermath, authorities made the difficult decision to leave his body where it was and permanently seal the cave, rather than risk more lives in a recovery attempt.
So I've gone into both these areas, and I think I'm missing it because I think it's around this corner right here. And that's what makes this so crazy, is you have to squeeze through here, and then, oh my God, look at it. So we're gonna descend in here. Keep descending. I can see how he got lost, man. It's a totally different area. And I'm guessing that's the same way as going up around this way. Here we go. Final route and resting place of John Jones, who died tragically on November 25th, 2009. So it's down this way here. I really squeeze into this area. Wow, and then he tried to go down this way. Oh my gosh, it keeps going. Oh, then he started squeezing this way. I can't even, here in VR, I can't even get down there. Wow. And so he squeezed all the way down there thinking it was going to continue that way. But that's the bottom. And so I can turn around in VR, but essentially he has his legs like sticking up out of that. And then the rescuer has to come down through this to get him. Wow, that is scary. That's insane. Wow. What a crazy, crazy part of the cave. I can see how dangerous it can get. So this is our way out. We're now at 94%. So it seems like we maybe missed a few little corners or little veins of the cave. But if you guys want to check out Nutty Putty here on Cave Crave, it is available on the Quest and also on PSVR. And it'll soon be on Steam, I'm pretty sure. So, but as always, guys, please leave a like and subscribe for the next video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.